Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a huge debate that's happening in the real estate world right now. We're going to bust the myth of maximum exposure and really get to the bottom of what makes a home sale successful.
So let's just start with a really simple question, one that kind of pushes back on a core belief in the industry. When it comes to selling a property, is just getting it seen everywhere on every single website, is that really the magic formula?
And this quote just nails it. The whole industry, it seems, is completely obsessed with this one question: distribution. It's become this big fight over where your home should show up online and, who gets to control that. Okay, so let's dig in. To really get why this conversation is, so loud, we first have to talk about the big myth that pretty much everyone seems to be buying into.
I mean, just look at all the moving pieces here. You've got these huge portals like Zillow getting bigger and bigger, brokerages trying to cut their own special deals, and then the classic MLS system is just trying to figure out where it fits in anymore. It is a nonstop tug of war over who gets to show a listing and to who.
And all of this craziness, it's all built on this one simple idea: get a home in front of as many people as possible, and you'll get the best result. The more views, the better the outcome. I mean, it sounds logical, right? But is it actually true?
Well, this is where we start to see the cracks in that logic. What if that main idea, that more is always better, is just wrong? Let's break down why focusing only on exposure can actually be a huge mistake. You see, this is the real divide. The industry assumes that visibility is what seals the deal. But in reality, by the time a listing is getting blasted all over the internet, the decisions that actually matter, the ones that truly shape the final price, they've already been made.
For a seller, most of the money isn't lost because not enough people saw their house. No, it's lost in the mistakes made before the listing ever goes live. Getting the price wrong, choosing the wrong time to sell, or just not having a plan for offers, that's what can kill a deal, no matter how many clicks you get. And this just sums it up perfectly. All the visibility in the world can't fix a bad strategy. It's kind of like buying a Super Bowl ad for a product nobody wants. The exposure just puts a giant spotlight on all the problems. And hey, let's flip this around and look at it from the buyer side for a second. You'd think with all this info at their fingertips, buyers would be super confident, but we're actually seeing the opposite. They're drowning in data, and it leads to this analysis paralysis that makes them less sure of their choices, not more. So if blasting a listing everywhere isn't the magic bullet, then what is? Well, it all comes down to the strategic work, the stuff that happens way before a for sale sign ever touches the front lawn. This is a really crucial shift in thinking you have to make. See, exposure isn't step one. It's the last step. It's what you do after you've already built a rock-solid foundation for the sale. And a successful sale is really built on these four pillars: nailing the price based on what's really happening in the market, launching at just the right moment, getting the home ready based on buyer psychology, and having a game plan for offers. These are the decisions that actually create value.
To put it another way, obsessing over distribution and clicks is like a movie studio spending millions on marketing and booking theaters before they've even written the script or cast the actors. You're trying to sell something that isn't finished, and that's just a recipe for disaster. So this big shift we're talking about, it totally redefines what a real estate agent's job is today. Their whole value has changed a lot.
Think about it like this. An agent's old value was being a gatekeeper, right? They had all the secret info. But technology came along and just blew those gates wide open. Now, their real value is being a strategist, the person who brings clarity and gives clients a solid plan so they can actually move forward. So the modern agent isn't just about unlocking doors anymore. They're supposed to be interpreting this super complex market, helping clients weigh their options and building a plan that lets them make big decisions without constantly second-guessing themselves. And this really is the bottom line. The entire conversation in the real estate industry has to change. It needs to move away from being all about access and start being all about clarity. This right here, this is it. This is what buyers and sellers are desperate for. It's not more data or more listings they need. It's the confidence to make the right call. And honestly, it's the one thing the industry has spent the least amount of time trying to improve.
Here's a good way to think about it. Just because someone hands you the keys to a race car doesn't mean you know how to drive it, right? Especially not on a tricky course. Access is the easy part. Understanding how to use it, that's the hard part.
At the end of the day, the website a home is on matters so much less than the quality of the thinking that got it there. A home with a smart strategy, Good price, good timing, good prep. It's going to succeed anywhere. But a home with a flawed strategy, it'll probably fail everywhere.
So, the next time you're thinking about real estate, don't get caught up asking where the listing should go. Instead, start by asking why and how. Why are we selling, and how are we going to build a winning strategy? Because that's where the real magic happens.